Hello everybody, my name is Harjeet Kaur. I am a student of MA English Semester 3. This is a presentation on the poem Ulysses. Background of the poem. Tennyson bases Ulysses on the legendary Greek hero Odysseus, whom the Romans call Ulysses. In Homer's Odyssey, we see him as the clever warrior and voyager, while in Dante's Inferno, he appears as the restless seeker of knowledge who sails beyond the known world even at the cost of his life. Tennyson takes inspiration from both these traditions but reshapes them in a Victorian spirit. He was grieving the death of his closest friend Arthur Hallam when he wrote this poem in 1833. For him, Ulysses became a symbol of refusing to give up, of moving forward in life despite loss and despair. So while the poem speaks in the voice of a mythic hero, it also reflects the poet's own struggle between the duties of daily life and the deep burning desire to keep exploring new horizons. Let's look at the summary and short. Ulysses, now an old king, feels imprisoned by the dull duties of ruling Ithaca. The endless routines of governance seem meaningless to a man who once lived a life of danger, discovery, and glory. He recalls his past adventures, the Trojan War, his journeys across stormy seas, and his encounters with strange cultures and peoples. These experiences have shaped him so deeply that he cannot be content with the passive life. For Ulysses, to sit idle is to rust unburnished, when life's true purpose is to keep striving, exploring, and learning. He admits that his son is far better suited to rule Ithaca with patience and responsibility. Ulysses, however, sees himself as destined for something greater, to push beyond limits even in old age. Turning to his faithful companion, his fellow mariners, he stirs their spirit once more. Though they are old, he insists that their hearts still burn with courage, that they can still sail forth in search of a newer world. And so the poem ends with Ulysses' immortal vow: no matter how close death may be, he and his comrades will continue to strive, to seek, to find, and not to yield. Now let's move towards the theme. At its heart, Ulysses is a poem about restlessness and the human spirit. Ulysses cannot accept a life of ease or idleness. He must always be moving, always striving. One central theme is the quest for knowledge. For Ulysses, every experience adds to his identity and he hungers to follow knowledge, like a sinking star beyond the utmost bound of human thought. There is also the contrast between mortality and immortality. The body may age, but the heroic spirit refuses to die. Even in twilight years, Ulysses still believes in courage and action. The poem also embodies heroism and perseverance. True greatness is suggests lies not in the comfort but in struggle. And finally, we hear the echo of Victorian optimism. Just as the Victorian age was marked by expansion, discovery, and faith in progress, Ulysses too represents the spirit of striving endlessly towards new frontiers. Now, the style and technique. Tennyson uses the form of the dramatic monologue, which allows us to hear Ulysses speaking directly, revealing his inner thoughts, desires, and contradictions. Through his voice, we sense both his weariness of domestic life and his fiery determination to seek adventure. The poem is written in blank verse or unrhymed iambic pentameter. This gives it a natural, flexible rhyme. It sounds elevated but still conversational, perfectly suited to a king reflecting on his life. The imagery in the poem is particularly powerful. Sailing becomes a symbol of life's journey, while the untraveled world represents knowledge, experience yet to be gained. The twilight and evening bells symbolizes death, but even these images are not defaced. They are moments of transition, not endings. Tennyson's tone moves between melancholy and inspiration. Ulysses knows that time is short, yet his refusal to yield fills the poem with the heroic, uplifting spirit. This balance between resignation and defiance is what makes the style so memorable and stirring. In the end, Ulysses is not simply a retelling of a great myth, it is a poem that speaks to something universal in the human spirit. It reminds us that life should not be spent in stagnation but in movement, growth, and exploration. Ulysses embodies the refusal to surrender to age, despair, or death itself. For the Victorians, the poem echoed their faith in progress and perseverance, but even today it continues to inspire us as a call to resilience, a reminder that no matter what stage of life we are in, there is always more to learn, more to strive for, and more to discover. That is why the closing line, to strive, to seek, to find, and not to yield, still rings with power. It is not only Ulysses' motto, it is a timeless anthem of human endurance.